The Special Stages, a series of bizarre looking places that grant Sonic and friends the chance of obtaining powerful gems like the Chaos Emeralds. These stages can vary a lot from each other aesthetically and mechanically, so in one game you will have the rotating maze for example, and in another one you'll get the halfpipe, and the halfpipe, and the halfpipe. But something that always intrigued me about the special stages is just the very concept and look of them. Sonic just happens to enter a giant ring for example, and he gets teleported to these weird but fascinating dimensions with elements that rarely make any sense, and I love it. There isn't a definitive explanation for what the special stages actually are. Yuji Naka has stated that these dimensions are distortions caused by the Chaos Emeralds within them, and that there's others like Ian Flynn for example that state that the special stages are a non-canon aspect of the Sonic universe, but in my opinion that's a pretty boring way to see things. If I had to give an explanation for the special stages, I would say that they are very inconsistent dimensions that are constantly reshaping themselves with different layouts and terrains, with the only constant thing being the fact that you can obtain powerful artifacts in them. There are references to it in other Sonic related media like the comics and shows that give the special stages more relevancy. And to give you a quick example, there's Archie issues where Sonic enters the special stage to become Super Sonic, or something like a character that uses the power of the Chaos Emeralds to create a special zone and be its guardian. You have so much to work with here that limiting it makes these intriguing dimensions feel less relevant than they should be. So today we're gonna go through majority of the special stages, taking a look at them and see what interesting details each of them have, and I will also be sharing some cool trivia about them, so make sure to stick around because you're gonna learn something new here for sure. So without further ado, let's start with the very beginning. Sonic 1 introduces the concept of special stages, a colorful alternate dimension that you can access after collecting 50 rings and jumping into a giant ring at the end of the stage. These stages involve controlling Sonic through a rotating maze with tools to help you control the speed and direction of the way the maze rotates. The end goal, like all special stages, are the Chaos Emeralds, which Sonic gets by breaking these color crystals that are usually guarding the emerald. There are two variations of the backgrounds, one with the green birds and clouds, and the other with fishes and bubbles. They also both share the same dark blue background. Visually, this is a great introduction to the concept. It really feels so different and bizarre from everything we see in Sonic 1. The birds and fishes are an unusual but interesting choice. There's an episode of The Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog in which Sonic and Tails go to a different dimension filled with fish, which, you guessed it, it's a reference to the Sonic 1 special stages. And after doing some research, this is actually inspired by a game called Camel Tree, an arcade game from 1989, which is a game where you control a ball by moving the maze itself, as opposed to moving Sonic instead. And in this game, you can also see similarities with the backgrounds of the special stages in Sonic 1, especially this one with the clouds. It looks pretty much like the same thing. Also, the way the birds transform into fish is very similar to mosaic transformation paintings of MC Escher, like in this painting titled Sky and Water 1. In Sonic 4 Episode 1, the rotating maze makes a return, but this time it takes a different visual approach. Instead of using animals and other similar elements, it uses these symbols that resemble a mandala or a kaleidoscope in different color variations. It does look interesting and does contribute to the mystical feeling the special stages go for, but I gotta hand it to the original Sonic 1. Although it only has two variations, it has more going for it visually in my opinion. The mandala-like symbols also don't experiment enough with color combinations, which would make these a lot more appealing. Now, Sonic CD has my absolute favorite special stages visually. While the gameplay mechanics are pretty straightforward, you just gotta jump and catch all of the UFOs before time runs out, what really sticks out to me is just the amazing diversity of the environments. Every stage has these little pools of water that will decrease the time you have left, and even those can change visually depending on what special stage you're at. But the absolute best part of these stages are the backgrounds. My god, Sega cooked a masterpiece MasterChef course with this one. You have really great looking environments ranging from a faraway shot of planet Earth with a lake filled with giant blue crystals, a planet surrounded by clouds, an underwater city, a mountain with a beautiful water palace, waterfalls and floating islands, a futuristic city with crazy lights, a city with a massive looking planet with a green filter on top, and a whole ass acid trip. And the fact that Sonic is here to collect gems that have power over time really makes it feel like the time stones are taking us to different periods in space and time. There is also a secret special stage that has a giant Robotnik head just staring at you. Seriously, I think aesthetically the special stages peaked here, but we still have a lot to discuss. We were actually very close to not having these special stages in the first place. In early development, the special stages for Sonic CD originally featured two independently rotating 2D mazes that Sonic would have to travel through to find the time stone, pretty much like Sonic 1. But this was later changed due to the release of Super Mario Kart, which featured gameplay in a 3D environment, and Sega, not wanting to fall behind, also wanted to showcase Sonic in a 3D-like environment. Here's a screenshot of an early development of the Sonic CD special stages, in which we can see a totally different environment from the final release, with mountains and what seems to be a yellow balloon. Also, another fun trivia, according to Yasushi Yamaguchi, Special Stage 4's background was inspired by a piece of artwork used in the November 1992 issue of the magazine Beep Mega Drive to promote the Yusei Sega World event. Pretty cool stuff. Okay, and now let's move on to the golden child of special stage gimmicks. Ah yes, the halfpipe. Sega's favorite special stage gimmick. There are many variations of this one, so hold on to your seats because we are going through them. Introduced in Sonic 2, the special stages involve Sonic going through a halfpipe to collect the target number of rings before a checkpoint. If you successfully go through all of the ring quotas, you get an emerald. If not, you get kicked in the ass and have to go look for another star post. Visually, the special stages do not change much as well. The only difference between the levels is the color of the halfpipe itself, with these yellow strokes and pieces being a consistent factor. The background is also the same throughout all of the levels. It's a dark blue sky with stars that has lighter tones the closer it is to the horizon. Even in official artwork, it seems to be the case too. Jesus, why does Tails' face look so uncanny here? It also has these diamond-shaped objects that come in both green and blue, which could be a reference to the colored crystals from Sonic 1, but I might be reaching here. The background does give the impression that this is a dimension with a view of space and with the possibility of a star similar to the sun, explaining the lighter tone in the horizon. Either that or the light could be from the Chaos Emerald itself, which is probably the case here. Also, a quick detail, the hand you see every time you pass a ring quota, it might actually be Robotnik's hand, since we can see a bit of a red sleeve, which matches Robotnik's outfit. But then again, if you play as Knuckles in the Sonic 2 special stages, the glove will have a green sleeve instead, matching the green from Knuckles' shoes. So this might actually just be Sonic's color scheme instead. Sonic 3D Blast also has similar special stages to Sonic 2. In the Sega Genesis version, you control Sonic on a bridge and also have to meet a certain ring quota to proceed, while avoiding different traps. Visually, in one of the variations, Sonic seems to be way above the earth on a wooden bridge, while in others, Sonic seems to be above what seems to be lava. How nice. Also, if you haven't noticed, the mines that Sonic must avoid touching are colored after the Chaos Emerald that you will receive. Sonic 3D Blast on the Sega Saturn, on the other hand, features special stages that more closely resemble the halfpipe gimmick, and I'm also a big fan of how these look. The colors used for the halfpipe remind me of the aesthetics used for Sonic 1 and CD, and the backgrounds also change up to help give these stages a better identity. From sunsets with a black forest, clouds with these hourglass-shaped objects, and a nice view of space with asteroids and nebulae, the aesthetics in these versions of Sonic 3D Blast are great and contribute to that bizarre feeling of the special stages. And also a quick trivia fact for you, there's an unused special stage theme in Sonic 3D Blast that was later repurposed as Pleasure Castle Twinkle Park of Sonic Adventure. Just take a listen. In Sonic 4 Episode 2, the halfpipe makes a return, and there are many new mechanics added from Sonic 3D Blast, like the dash panels, tunnels, and corkscrews, and a rope mechanic similar to the ring power from Knuckles' Chaotix is used. In the prototype of the non-released game Sonic Crackers, Sonic and Tails also used something similar, so it might be a nod to that too. And like in Sonic 4 Episode 1, visually it uses the same mandala or kaleidoscope effects for the background, with each level having different colors as well. Nothing too out of the ordinary here, but I would have preferred if they remade what they had going for Sonic 2 visually, but oh well. It is what it is. Sonic Rush and Sonic Colors DS brought the halfpipe to your hands. Mechanically, they are pretty much the same thing. Collect a certain number of rings or orbs in colors before various checkpoints and then get rewarded with an emerald. Sonic Rush has similar stuff to Sonic 4 going on visually, but personally I prefer this over the special stages in Sonic 4. The present elements look sharper and there is a bigger variety of them too. I also like how the color of the background corresponds to the emerald you receive in that specific special stage. Always a nice touch. And also, we gotta appreciate the music in these special stages as well. It's great. And another thing I want to show appreciation to. I really like how in order to access these stages, Sonic has to grab these special generators and boost until they open up a portal. It's Sonic using his speed to literally rip open a portal to another dimension, and I always found that to be pretty cool. In Sonic Colors DS, we don't get different backgrounds for the different special stages levels, but the one we get does look interesting to say the least, with all of the rectangular shapes in front and above Sonic, and with the Earth beneath him, which makes sense considering he is in an interstellar amusement park far away from the Earth. Okay, so now you've heard about the half-pipe, but what about a hexagonal pipe? Well, sometimes that is. Knuckles' Chaotix special stages have a lot of interesting stuff going on. It features 3D hexagonal tubes that will often be fragmented to lead to more broad and open spaces, with platforming sections. Your first objective is to collect blue spheres before the timer runs out, while avoiding various obstacles and using gimmicks like the star bumpers to your advantage. And visually, I do like it. The colors for the tubes and platforms vary from stage to stage, and the color combinations are great, with most of them being complementary colors, and it really adds up to the bizarreness and dreamlike aesthetics of the special stages. The background stays consistent in all of the levels, with this space-like view of these ball and stick objects that are used to represent molecules. Creative stuff all around. The bonus special stage after you collect all 6 Chaos Rings makes the hexagonal tube transparent, which, from an aesthetic perspective, I think it looks pretty sick, but gameplay wise this is a nightmare, making it very hard to tell where you're even going. The blue spheres. If you know me, then you know how this is my absolute favorite special stage to play. It's fun, it's addicting, and pumps the adrenaline. But besides that, I do have to put the glaze to a break because other special stages are just more visually appealing than the blue spheres. Yeah, that's right, I said it. It's pretty much just a checkboard on a planetoid layout that loops infinitely. The sky does change color a few times, but not anything too special. The checkboard pattern, however, does change color every time, referencing the colors of each zone in Sonic 3. So you got Angel Island, Hydro City, yes that's how you say it, Marble Garden, Carnival Night Zone, Ice Cap. Wait, this isn't Ice Cap's color scheme? This is... huh? As many of you know, there were a lot of changes in the final version of Sonic 3, and Flying Battery was originally supposed to be after Carnival Night Zone, so that's why this special stage has its color scheme. Besides that, I don't have much to add up, but I do have a bunch of trivia to share about the blue spheres. The special stage layout was actually inspired by King Kai's planet from Dragon Ball. Yuji Naka based the graphical look on the scene with Goku chasing Bubbles on King Kai's planet. Pretty cool, huh? In early development of Sonic 3, the line "Get Blue Spheres" was originally called "Get Blue Balls." This was later changed in the final cut due to obvious reasons. In the Sonic movie, Sonic has a map of safe worlds to go to, and one of them seems to really resemble the Blue Sphere special stage. And now a really interesting piece of trivia that I only recently learned: the Blue Sphere's music that you are hearing right now was originally created for an unreleased puzzle game called Sega Sonic Bros, where it plays when you reach level 40. Take a listen. Next, let's tackle the Advanced Trilogy. And if you've seen my Sonic Advanced Trilogy video, you know that I actually despise these special stages. But there's also stuff to appreciate here, so let's go over them. In Sonic Advance, we get the bottomless hole, where your character moves through the air while riding a board. And I've seen some discussion about this board being an early version of the Extreme Gear, but honestly I don't really see it. You need to collect a certain number of rings to pass through 2 segments, but due to the nature of this special stage and the depth perception, these can be some of the hardest special stages in the Sonic franchise. They do look a bit interesting though. You're falling down this metallic tube in outer space from being launched off those giant springs, and the colors of the tube also change and match the color of the Chaos Emerald that you will receive. Advance 2, on the other hand, while the method of getting to the special stages itself feels very counterintuitive, the special stages themselves are without a doubt the best ones out of the trilogy. Your objective is once again to collect a certain number of rings, and as you collect more, the ring multiplier raises, letting you chain this and get a lot more rings. You also control your character in the 3D plane, which is always a nice treat in my eyes, especially on 2D games. I can definitely see the inspiration of the Sonic CD special stages in this one. Visually, it's great. There's 4 different variations of these stages. There's one with these Tetris-like objects in the background, one with circles, and another one with triangles. All of these have different colors for the background and checkboard floors as they repeat. The 4th variation is in the 7th stage, which uses star objects instead. Another special stage that really encapsulates that weirdness you know from stuff like Sonic 1 and Sonic CD. Overall, pretty nice. It almost makes me forget how painful these are to get in the first place. In Sonic Advance 3, we get the plane chase, with the same ring objective, and visually the special stages are in an enclosed area resembling an upside down half-pipe with a transparent roof and a starry sky above it. It also has a large checkered field below it. The color of the special stage also corresponds to the Chaos Emerald in it, and it's visually almost like a combination of the 2 prior Advance games, having a tiled floor from Advance 2 and the tube being present from Sonic Advance. I do like how your character is also on top of the tornado too. Cool that they did that, but it doesn't have much else going on, so Advance 2 still takes the cake out of the 3. Oh man, I bet you all love this one, don't ya? Sonic Heroes special stages are... yeah, they're something alright. Well, at least it's not the half-pipe again. It's a full one. Everyone knows how notoriously bad the controls are in this one. I've played a lot of Sonic Heroes growing up, and I've gotten accustomed to the slippery controls in these levels, and sometimes they still mess me up. It's just really bad mechanically. I do like how you play inside these light, transparent tubes and can see the background clearly because of that. And speaking of which, the background is mostly a texture of clouds that has different filters on top that vary with each level. But Special Stage 6 and 7, yes, I know, look fantastic. And I mean, just look at this. I like it a lot. It's just a space background, but the colors on the tube complement it really well and really makes it stand out. I know it's difficult to appreciate it due to how fast these stages can be, but that's what this video is for. There's also these 3D diamond-shaped objects connected to small tubes that envelop them, which also adds a bit to these stages visually. And here's some trivia about the Sonic Heroes special stages. The concept of the boost mechanics seen in later games was introduced in these special stages. Sonic Heroes is the second 3D Sonic game after Sonic 3D Blast to feature special stages. If you don't consider Sonic 3D Blast to be a 3D Sonic game for some reason, then Sonic Heroes would be the first one. Sonic Generations brings back these special stages, and they are the best version of them, since Sonic controls a lot better there than in Heroes. Surprise, surprise! In Sonic Lost World 3DS, the game loved by absolutely everyone, the special stages happen in this space void location, which honestly, it may look kinda cool, but it feels empty compared to everything we've seen so far in this video. It's pretty much a depressive version of the blue spheres. It even requires you to use gyro controls to move Sonic around, so it also makes you look like a complete dumbass. What else to say about these? I mean, they're the only levels in this game that don't have hard modes? Yeah. Sonic Mania's special stages are amazing. The gameplay is peak and oh my lord, the visuals, dude? It's everywhere, I'm afraid. The UFO chasing gimmick is just great. Collecting spheres to raise your max speed, cutting corner to shorten the gap between you and the UFO feels rewarding, and can we please talk about the background visuals already? Each stage has different layouts and visual setting. There's stuff like a night setting with Greek architecture and floating fish, a weird place with a red sky and a bunch of upside-down pyramid, a shattered planet with its core visible, a weird mushroom world, a sky setting with clouds and strange planetoids. It's just fantastic. I would say this one is on par with the Sonic CD backgrounds, maybe even better. I also really like the fact that these special stages combine several elements from the past games. You got the floating fish and birds from the special stages in Sonic 1, as well as the palm trees from Green Hill Zone, the sphere concept from Sonic 3 and Knuckles is here, the UFOs, and of course the abstract background design from Sonic CD, the polygonal 3D model from Sonic Jam, the Chaos Emerald chase is very similar to the one from Heroes, and even the fact that in both games you have to collect these spheres to go faster is in a way also similar, and the use of rings to increase the time limit is from Knuckles Chaotix. Also, did you guys know? The original concepts for the gameplay of these special stages involved red and blue spheres being gradually released onto the track by the UFO as the player was chasing it, instead of just naturally appearing on the track for collection. And once you acquired the emerald, the UFO would suddenly begin to chase them, and the player would have to survive for 10 seconds while dodging the red spheres being shot at them. But this sudden death mechanic was cut for difficulty concerns. And last but not least, we have Sonic Superstars, which, if you played Shadow Gens, you know how similar it is to the Tube mod. Lock onto the orbs and swing away. I know a lot of people like to trash on Superstars for its boring visuals, but I personally like what they did to the special stages here visually. It's another space void world, but it has a bunch of hexagons in a honeycomb structure, a lot of different constellations. The bottom takes shape of a wormhole, which is also a nice detail, and in later stages you get these crystal-like walls too, so there's quite a bit of going for Superstars. Not bad, it's everything the 3DS Lost World special stages wanted it to be. If they tried different colors for the background, it would automatically make them a lot more interesting in my opinion, so it's a bit of a shame that they didn't experiment enough with this aesthetic. Also, if you haven't noticed, the starting notes of this special stage theme are the exact same as the one from Sonic CD. Have a listen. I hope Sega and Sonic Team keep bringing back the special stages and cook some really nice background visuals for us, because a lot of the time the Chaos Emeralds are usually used as a plot point and obtaining them doesn't involve going into the special stage anymore. It's also a bit sad that over time the game started to lose that bizarreness of the special stage dimension. It would be awesome to see other crazy looking worlds like in Sonic CD, or just stuff that doesn't make sense at all. Seriously, the weirder it looks, the better. But I want to know about what do you think? Do you agree with this? Tell me what's your favorite Sonic special stages and why, and what would you like to see moving forward. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Give it a like if you did, and if you subscribe, you will receive this amazing Sonic chair for free. I promise, okay? Subscribe. Shout out to KCKM1 for the YouTube member. See ya later, guys.